Game Masters, I am certain that sooner or later you will come across a player who is less confident than the others around your table. Maybe it's a friend you're introducing to the hobby, or maybe it's someone who's been playing for a while who just hasn't found their connection to the group. We as Game Masters, we're not teachers, we're not psychologists, we are most certainly not therapists, but we still want to help our friends improve their skills and to have the best time they possibly can around the table with us. So what can we do? How can we help out that person? How can we help out that previous version of me who really struggled to get into playing, to get over their confidence issues and to flourish playing the game? My name's Rich, this is Renegade Rolls, and let's be storytellers together with all our friends. If you're a game master, sooner or later you will have folks at your table who are less confident than others, who are less keen to put themselves out there and to join in with the adventures and shenanigans. Something fundamental before we start. You can't go changing people. You can't go changing your players to be something that they're not and something that they don't want to be. If you have a player who's just not a keen role player, but they're not interested in learning, they're not interested in developing that skill, you can still have a really fun evening together. You can still have a great time playing a game. They just might not be the player for your high narrative, high drama story. It might be better if you have a dungeon crawl where you smash skeletons together. And that is great. It's still going to be a really fun time. However, if you have someone who wants to learn, who wants to improve, who is looking for ways to maybe get over confidence issues, or just to get more practice at being a silly sausage with the rest of you, then here's some tips for you. The number one tip, which I really hope you're all doing already, is to keep on including them. If you know that someone is less keen on roleplay, give them opportunities anyway. Something I absolutely love at the start of sessions as a way of breaking down barriers and getting rid of any of that ego, any of that sense of being cool with folks around your table is goblin voices. Speaking like this is great. And encouraging folks to do the same, well, it's very hard to do it and take yourself seriously, isn't it? Yes. What I'm talking about is leading by example, showing the behaviour that you're hoping for around your table. I love starting a game with some goblin voices or an excuse for players to go very much outside of their normal selves. As well as goblins, sometimes I'll do rather posh, well-spoken people who speak like this and look down their nose at everybody. Or rootin' tootin' cowboys. I'm not very good at that one. Anything you can do to let people be silly and get people outside of their comfort zones. If you've got a sense that a player just is not going to join in with that, that's fine. We can still work with them. We can still have a lovely time. Some players, when faced with roleplay and dialogue moments, might just say, you know what, can I just roll a dice instead? And that's totally okay. Yes, of course you can. This is all about giving your players the space that they need so that they can grow and feel more comfortable as we go. Another very easy thing you can do as Game Master, which is built into so many game systems, is to give out inspiration, give out hero coins, whatever they happen to be called. Use that reward to really show that you've noticed when players are trying. At my tables, I give them out like candy. So if you're playing with me, always remember to spend it, because there'll be more along very soon if you keep on playing in character. Hello from the edit bay, or my spare room as it's more commonly known. My friend Dan has a Kickstarter which he just launched, which can help your players in lots of different ways. This is TTRPG Cards Made Easy. Characters, critters, and initiative. It's all the tools you need to make character cards, on-table tokens, GM screen hangers, initiative trackers, and all sorts of clever things. The unique thing he's done that I've never seen before is some PDF sorcery, frankly. All you need to do is drop in your image once, and the sorcery does everything else. You can then drop in labels for names, stats, classes, all sorts of stuff, and you end up with totally custom but super professional looking tools for your table. I myself, I've got some projects afoot where I'm going to be using these, and you'll hopefully get to see the results for yourself. All the links and details are in the description below, but right now back to Other Rich. If you've got time and you've got a player who really does want to develop their skills, play a one-on-one game with them, a little one-shot outside of the main campaign. You might find they open up much more easily in a personal setting rather than in a large group, and having that opportunity could give them just that little bit more confidence to go into a wider group setting with a bit more of a spring in their step and a bit more of a solid foundation in their own skills. As game masters, we will often take the weight of the fantasy world on our shoulders. We'll try and do everything ourselves, but we usually have a table full full of players who'd be more than willing to help us out. If you've got this new player who's struggling, maybe encourage some of your more experienced folks to jump in and create little roleplay moments with them. These little one-on-ones between characters can feel like less pressure than a big group scene, and can also be a great way of establishing character connections. If you choose to do this as a prequel session for a character, maybe you choose to jump back to some time in their past, that can be such a strong way of helping them develop the character, and then to know when the question comes, well, what do you do? They've got a much better idea of what their character would do in any given moment. Something I'll really enjoy doing as a game master, which doesn't involve roleplay, is to ask the players to paint the scene with me. I'll say something like, you walk into the guard room and you see groups of them sitting around, some playing cards, some getting some rest. All of them look tired and exhausted. Can each of you please tell me a couple of things that you see, hear, or smell in this scene? The nice thing about this is that your players get to add to the world without having to roleplay as their character. It helps folks feel engaged without necessarily feeling as on the spot as they would be if they had to suddenly make a choice about what their character's doing. Part of this as well can be to ask the quiet player last, let them see what the others are doing, and they can maybe follow along. You can use this technique of scene painting in so many ways. A great one, which doesn't require a right or wrong answer, is to ask your players about what rumours have you heard? You all make your way to the Broken Wheel Tavern. You know it is a hive of scum and villainy. What rumours have you heard about this place? The great thing here, it doesn't matter if they're true, it doesn't matter if they're false, it doesn't matter if they're wild and made up. Often the rumours that players say that they've heard can be wonderful to weave into the story, either true or false. If you're quick on your feet as a game master and able to bring in these different elements from different places, you can make an incredibly responsive world to your players. And the great thing about a question like this, there's no wrong answers. If a player says, oh, there's unicorns out the back. Cool. Maybe there are, maybe there aren't. That could be a wild goose chase. But that player has contributed and built something to the world. A variation on this from a game called Brindlewood Bay, where you are little old ladies solving crimes, is that when you go to make a move and roll a dice, the game master will ask you, what are you afraid will happen? And again, this is great for new players, as there is no wrong answer here, as long as they come up with something that kind of fits in with the world. At its heart, all of these tips are about giving a hand up to our players, if they want to, if they choose to, if they'd like to elevate their game in some way. As Game Master, we have so much power to set the tone, to set the vibe, and to set the expectations around our table, so I really hope you use that power wisely. If you're looking for more advice on how to run narrative-first, roleplay-focused games, then this video here is going to be the one for you. It's my fundamental philosophies as a Game Master of putting story first. Then we've got this one here, which is about something completely different. No idea what it is, but I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you there, where we can be storytellers together with our friends.